everyone, happy Wednesday. Hope you're all doing well. I'm excited because where I live, we've had a tropical depression for 4 or 5 days. That doesn't sit well for the girl who goes out every day on at least a 10-mile walk, slash run, slash who's the crazy chick in the middle of the street doing CrossFit? Yeah, started a blog. That's exciting. It's on offthenose.com, so check that out if you want to hear what's up in here, what doesn't make it onto the show, and what happens behind the scenes. So good luck with that. If you want your life to sound nice and peaceful, read my blog, and it will. What else? Oh, we're working on a speaker series. This is super exciting. And so more to reveal on that, but you know, how can we talk to our young people about really going out and having an off-the-nose kind of life, even all ages who maybe need to pivot, maybe need to learn what the word pivot means because they're in boring, dead-end, uninspiring career. So we're gonna do a speaker series and try to get everybody thinking a little bit more off the nose. So all that's coming up. And that segues into today's show, how we inspire the young people. So school is a wrap. Now what? Let's go.
Gotta get it how it goes now. You gotta take it off the nose. It's off the nose. Gotta get back in control now. Let's stop believing in ourselves. It's off the nose.
Hey guys, today's show is brought to you by Storyworth. Unique gift like nothing else. 20 bucks off when you use the URL /offthenose. Check it out. Plexiderm. Plexiderm is a serum that will make you tight for up to 10 hours. I promise. 67% off. Guys, yeah, you too. Check it out. MealEnders. Are you doing a little too much snacking these days? Stop the cravings, stop overeating, pop a lozenge, 20% off when you use /offthenose. How about Warby Parker? Do you need to change it up a little bit? I'm telling you, you do. Warby Parker, awesome vintage-inspired prescription glasses, 5 pairs, 5 days free trial when you go to /offthenose. Okay, so I don't know what Corona's been like for you in regards to education, or in my case, lack thereof. But today I want to talk about when schools are wrapped, what in the hell are these kids going to do next? You know? And Corona has either made it more difficult, or maybe it can push us ahead, I don't know, 20 years at least, because yeah, we're behind. And so our schools today absolutely do not reflect real life. Let me start. I have 2 kids, okay? 20 and 17. One graduated. He was like a 5-second conversation about college. No. He's independent. He's on his own path, figuring shit out, right? It's what you do at that age. Good, have at it. I'm not saying college is the right path. The way college looks right now, not exactly. Maybe not for you, maybe for some people, but yeah, whatever, okay? 17-year-old, he's a rising senior. He wants to go to college, okay. But he hates high school, hates it. There's not a class. I try to say, tell me one thing you learned today. Let's go around the table. What's one thing you learned today? It's like, and this isn't just asshole 17-year-old eye-rolling bullshit. He literally struggles to think of something, anything, that could possibly have elevated his mind that day. So Corona has exposed it even further. I know parents out there know what I'm talking about because you now have the curriculum Or maybe the teachers, if you've seen them, I haven't seen mine, but right in front of you, it's right there. So you're either super impressed, and I'd like to know where you go to school. If you're in private school, yep, you're probably impressed. If you're in some rare districts for public school, maybe you're impressed. I don't know. I've done both. Both of my kids have been in private and public, so I can speak to both. Great private schools, and I've been in high-performing public school districts as well as not so great performing school districts, okay? So I've seen it all. So, and both of my kids, man, up till middle school, loved school, loved it, you know? And you see it all over the internet during Corona, all the cute little teacher stories. Do you see any kids in high school doing chalk art to their high school teachers? No. Why not? Because there's no relationship. Because they don't give a fuck. Why? Because the teachers haven't done anything to have a relationship with them. It sucks. My kids have more friends come through all the various houses we've lived in. My house is the house. I dare to say the party house, but it's the house where the kids hang. And I like to get to know the kids and hang. And I have I have goody two-shoe looking girls come through. I have, boys with their very preppy outfits come through and, who come from the country club lineage. I can't find any of them that are motivated or seem slightly excited about something, anything they're doing at school. That's not the way it was for me. I loved school. I was the furthest thing from a goody two-shoes, and unfortunately, I was the furthest thing from a good student. I did okay, but I had to work my ass off just to get B's, high C's in, certain math classes. What is it? Algebra, geometry, calculus? Calculus? I have to stay after for calculus every night just to try to pass. It sucked. So anyway, some classes I did okay. But anyway, my point is, I was a girl who wouldn't mind hanging in the parking lot a few extra minutes before school. I was friends with everyone. I loved being in school. We stayed after school for our sports activities. And I remember we'd run down this hill to the little store and get, 6, 8 candy bars. Yeah, candy bars. I ate that many candy bars. I can only imagine. But anyway, Twix. Twix the bomb. Eat all that candy bar, then go up there, put your little cheerleading outfit on, Catholic girl cheerleading outfit, so you gotta roll that puppy a couple times. And we'd do our practices, we'd watch other people do their stuff, and it was just, you liked being at school and didn't mind the homework. I'd go home, do my homework. It was just so different. I think sports had a lot to do with it, because back then you played the sport of the season. We all know today, by 11, we're getting offers, and how dare you play more than one sport? And to play a sport, you have to have this team of people. You have to have a nutritional coach and a stretching coach and a conditioning coach and everything else to go along with your normal. And then there's travel ball, right? So that's all consuming, and it's really changed a lot of the dynamic of school. I think that the sports that used to bring a lot of people together, but then the actual what's happening in the classrooms or not happening in the freaking classrooms is scary at best, and Corona has exposed it. My son had all his stuff online like everybody else, and I remember one time I checked in on him, how's it going? Anything exciting? He just looks at me like I'm, from the 1800s. And he says, yeah, you want to hear something funny? And I said, what? I submitted a quiz and didn't answer any of the questions and got an A. I go, that must have been a mistake. You know, they're gonna catch that, obviously. He goes, oh really? I told all my friends to do it too, and they've done it, and everyone's got an A. I said, this is crazy. I said, well, when do you have your live classes? We don't have live classes. No live classes, no exams, no projects. What a great time to do projects. Hello? The kids can't talk to their friends in a normal way. They can't see them. Have them do projects. Have them learn like you learn in the business world. You collaborate. Collaborate. Just saying. So, yeah, basically my son, as a rising senior, has been on summer break since March 13th. That's public school. Right there for you. Oh yeah. Those teachers were like, yeah, baby. Yeah, Corona. I'll wear a mask. That's right. Because I'm done teaching. That's what happened at my kids' school. And you know, so I thank God, both my kids, they're in an environment where education and work ethic is being modeled for them. Excitement about education is being modeled for them. I went on to work on my master's. I got my green belt in Six Sigma. I mean, they see me do these things as an adult and just constantly learning, because I'm a freak about learning and reading, always reading and giving them facts that, you know, but whatever, I try. So they're in this environment where they're seeing all this, so they're motivated, if you will, but it takes both sides, right? We have to work together. We can have it all going on right in the house, and then they go to the school and the school is failing them miserably. It has to go together. Same respect. You know, if the school is kicking ass and has it all together, and then they come home and nobody cares about what they're doing with school at home, then they can 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, right? All goes together, if you ask me. So, I don't know. I just think about it and I'm like, God, why don't, not just my kids, why don't a lot of kids feel inspired? And it's like, well, no shit. The school system is so outdated. I mean, that's what Corona really exposed, right? It's not set up for them. Look, the kids today are more exposed than ever. You know, they don't need to go to school to get information like they used to when I was growing up, right? There's these couple guys called Mr. Google and Mr. YouTube. Some days I could take them down. I remember when my older son was going to prom and I was so excited. I was like, teachable moment. We're going to bond. And I was like, I ran out. I said, hey, baby, you ready to tie your tie? I'm going to teach you how to tie your tie. And he was like, what are you talking about? Again, looking at me like, you know. And I was like, well, I'm going to teach you how to tie your tie. It's not like you come out of the womb knowing how to tie your tie. He was like, obviously, I watched a video. YouTube just stripped me of my bonding moment. There's lots more of those. Lots more. Hard-boiled egg. Didn't get to teach them the hard-boiled egg. Nope. I could go on and on and on. So the days of the kids going to the parents and being like, oh, you're so wise. And going to school and saying, oh, I can't wait to learn from Mr. Wiseman, are gone. We have to talk to these kids the way they talk, you know? We have to, the kids that are doing well in school, athletes who have school-based sports, obviously they have to be eligible to play. Okay, so they're gonna do what they need to do. Then you have your straight A, they're gonna get straight A's no matter what. Many of them are girls, but not all, but more. And you know, those kind of kids, if you have one of those, good for you. Good for freaking you. I don't like you, but whatever. So yeah, there's those kids. Put those kids in the shittiest school, they're gonna get straight A's. Okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about everybody else. And even those athletes who get the grades they need to get, are they motivated? Or are they just checking the box? I don't know, I guess sports are the motivation. So, I'm talking about the spirit in our kids and what are they getting out of high school? And are we just checking the boxes, or are we talking to them about their future? And are we talking to them in the language they use? And are we using the technology they use the way they use it so we are relatable? My God, we are so archaic right now in the technology. Seriously, if one more school is all pumped up to roll out iPads, wake the freak up. Honestly, you're a little behind the scene here. So I love all the protests, necessary protests towards police reform. Man, let's get right there in line afterwards for education reform, right? A little, hey, ho, those back-ass curriculums got to go. Hey, ho, those boring teachers got to go, right? I can probably improve on those, but I'll work on the chance. But seriously, there needs to be major reform. Knowledge is power. We gotta start young. And the cute little things that happen in elementary school, if you have elementary school kids, you are like, what is this bitch talking about? I'm telling you, when my kids were in elementary school, they loved it. I was PTA, I was homeroom mom, I brought in all the cookies. I bought the cookies and brought them in. I didn't bake them, but I brought good ass cookies, and my kids love school. We'd get on our bikes, we'd ride bikes to elementary school, and they'd run out in the afternoon and have their papers, and they're proud, and they love their teacher. Oh, and the teachers love them. Yeah, that's a very real experience until you hit middle school and then high school. So all of you with your elementary school kids, it's gonna get dark. Really, really dark. Yeah, because it sucks. As they get older, it gets harder to teach them. I get it. But the public school systems gonna let you down. They will let you down. We need to protest for reform. And I think Corona is the perfect opportunity because we have been forced to do things differently. So these schools, which should have been doing things differently for a long time, now they're in the perfect opportunity. Thank you, Corona. Now I will get my act together. That's right. You had to figure out how to get technology to everyone, didn't you? Yup. Okay. Well, let's not retract from that. Let's not go back. Let's not wait for the vaccine and then say, whew, now we can go back. Because why would we go forward? Whew, that was a lot of work. You've done it. Let's go. Keep it rolling. You're there, So if kids are excited about going to middle school and high school, think about they don't have to go through that tough time, in their early 20s, and they're like, who am I and where am I and what am I doing and all of that. We can really change it by talking to them earlier and earlier. They know more earlier and earlier. So we have to hit them with stuff earlier and earlier. I have a plan. Want to hear my plan? Yeah. Here's a few things I think we should do. I'm not an educator, but I'm a parent who's, like I said, been to a lot of schools in different states. And just the way it is, I'm not military, but I like to travel. We need to pay teachers more. That's a novel idea. And any teacher out there is like, okay, tell me something I don't know. Tell me something we haven't tried. Well, we need to protest it. We must pay teachers more. Please tell me, what role is more important in our society? Nothing. It's who we leave our children with for 6 to 8 hours a day. Seriously? Who else is there? Nobody. There's other important roles, nothing more important. And here's what I think. As the kids get older, those teachers need to make more. That's right. When they hit middle school and the eyes start rolling and they start looking at the other sex and they start thinking about sex and they are just, mini assholes, those teachers need to be paid more money. And then when they hit high school and they are full on assholes and difficult and having sex and trying to figure it out and considering all kinds of stuff they could or could not do, those teachers really need to get paid more. Paid more as you get. Guess how they make bonus? Yep, based on grades. I like some of that. Yeah, they have to perform. You have to get your kids to perform. That's your job. So yes, your bonus should be paid on the performance of your kids. But there's another way. Also, in addition, you get a bonus. The kids vote whether you get a bonus. That's right. Have a relationship with your kids. If your kids respect you as a teacher, you don't have to buy them shit. If they respect you as a teacher, they will agree to your bonus. Like that. Group projects. I mentioned it before. Neither of my kids ever brought an egg home. I want my kids to bring an egg home. Why? Why don't they bring the eggs home anymore? I mean, I don't know. That's just one. What else? I've never heard my kid talk about dissecting a frog. Do we do that? I did it. They need to do it. I mean, where are the projects? Remember the book reports? Are we doing the book reports? I don't know. Not like we used to. I had a book report every week. Do the book reports. What else? Group projects. When they are adults, they will collaborate with Google platforms and apps and Zoom and a bunch of different collaborative tools. So why in the world wouldn't we have them do it now? Gotta think, people. Gotta think. Business partners. Every business in the community needs to be partnered with the school. They need to work together. Kids need to see people who look like them doing jobs that might interest them. And then they can do internships and career days and career days. Did I just say career days? Where the hell are career days? Can you please tell me why when my kids were in elementary school and they were, 8, I went in and I talked about my career, as did other moms and dads, and then it went away. Because why in the world would we talk to a 14-year-old or a 16 or 17-year-old about a career? Let's save that for the 8-year-olds. What? I'm telling you, makes no sense. Career day, bring it back to the older kids. Getting ready for college. These kids have no clue what to do. What's your major? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. And nobody seems to care. You know what the guidance counselor, it's funny. You know what they do at my kids' school? They hand out passes for running in the halls or being late. They're freaking disciplinary guards. They're not guidance counselors. Shouldn't they be sitting down and talking about what your interests are and what you might be good at and what schools have those kinds of programs? I don't know. If you go to them and ask them for that, they'll do it. But come on, my taxpayer dollars, that's what I'm getting? Disciplinary guard? Change your freaking title then. Don't fake us out, okay? My girlfriend, her son had no clue what he wanted to do. She took him and took this pretty expensive test, took hours, and it looked at his interest and his skills, and then a psychologist said, hey, these things overlap. These would be some good careers for you. And it was like, ding, ding, ding. All of a sudden, he knew exactly what he wanted to do. He was pumped about it, and it was everything. Well, not everybody can afford to do that. But that got me looking into it. There's lots of these tests, free ones too. Integrate these into school. We should be testing our kids from freshman year on. So they're starting to really think about, what am I gonna do? What do I like? I don't know what I like. What am I good at? Those things will cross over. We're gonna talk about it. How about stop fighting with the kids over their technology? Since you haven't been able to figure out how to keep the iPhones out of the school, okay? I mean, the cute little things you put over the doors, like the shoe things, it's cute and all, but it's not working. So stop fighting. How about a class where you say, hey guys, everybody take out your cell phone, go to YouTube. I want you to type in, I don't know, MLK, the march, where he was shot, something. They watch it together, they talk about it. Okay, put your phones away, now we're gonna talk about it. I mean, seriously? Get a kid like this watching YouTube? Guess what? He likes you now. He's actually listening to you now. He's happy. He's motivated because you're talking his language. This is their happy place, just like this. Okay? So embrace it. Don't fight it. We created it. Okay? Get over it. Get over it. All you old people who want to crack on millennials and say this or that about everybody else. This is who they are. Information's coming at them fast. They want things fast. They know technology before we know it. They know the answers before we know them. So we have to teach them in a different way. All public schools should require community service. If you're not aware, private schools require kids to do community service before they graduate. This is so easy. They have to do 100 hours. My older son did the 100 hours in 2 months to get that checked off the list, but that's not how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to do it year by year, obviously. This is not hard to track, okay? Not hard. 100, everybody knows. If you give, you get. Maybe we motivate some activists out there who carry this through their whole life. You don't know what these moments can do. And lastly, I believe we should encourage all juniors and seniors to get a part-time job, or at least an internship. Hard to do with sports. That's why it has to be done in the realm of the curriculum and encouraged, and maybe you can get a grade by doing it. But if your kid goes off from high school and still hasn't had a job, probably not a good thing. So, they're heading off to college. If we could get them motivated, get them thinking about what they're good at and what they're interested in and how that could possibly turn into a career, they're probably going to head off into college in a better place. Right now, 65% of high school graduates go to college. Okay? That's low. So we know we have to do a better job. All right? But hey, you private school people, some of your schools are more like 100%. They all graduate. Well, I got news for you. 1 in 5 of all college students drop out. That's right. And the highest percentage is at private for-profit schools. They have a very high dropout rate, 70+% dropout rate. Lots of schools have 40 or 50% dropout rate. Why are they dropping out? I'm sure scholarships and money have something to do with it, but it's also they never knew why they were there. They don't know what path they're on. They don't know what track they're on. That leads me to colleges. Colleges are getting their asses kicked right now. I don't have a lot of empathy for them. Some of them have really tried to adjust. Some of them have been offering online programs and so forth prior to Corona. But now Corona has really put them in a bind, right? They can't do 300-person classes. How do you live in dorms right now? I mean, they're trying to figure it out, and they all know a hybrid is what they have to do. So again, Corona can be a good thing. It can put you 20 steps ahead. What's wrong with colleges right now? Well, partly what's wrong is it's 4 years, it's the same old. Your first 2 years, you do nothing to do with your major. It's a bunch of stuff you may or may not ever use. Learning is good, people. Don't get me wrong. All learning is good. But for this culture where we want it fast and information is delivered very quickly, I think we're losing them. I know when I talk to my 17-year-old about college, if I were to tell him, hey, you can do it in 2 years, we can put you on a track now because Georgetown or Ohio State or my alma mater, Miami University, are offering these fast tracks now. And so you don't do the first 2 years of all these liberal arts classes. You go straight into what you're interested in, and it's a 2-year bachelor. Guess what, colleges? Most likely, they would have had a good experience, and they'll probably go on and get their master's. So you might still get 4 years out of them anyway. But these kids think differently now. They want it faster, and they want more specialized to what they're interested in. This well-rounded person, well-rounded education, that's my generation. This generation just thinks differently. It's not like they don't want to be well-rounded, but they want to do it on their own terms. And Mr. Google and Mr. YouTube are helping them be well-rounded in very quick, tidbit, short kinds of ways. So 4 years to do this, and then 2 years to do this, and then 4 more years if you want to be a doctor. We got to think about this. We got to fast track it, is what I'm saying. And I think you can make that experience a lot different. So if we're talking about that, about paths, real world paths to them early when they're freshmen, and we're assessing them, and we're teaching the way they want to be taught, and we're using all these resources because now we hybrid teach and we use technology. Doesn't have to be this one guy at the front of the room and we all hang on every word he says and his monotone voice. Remember that guy? And so in 1870, and you're like, holy shit. That doesn't have to be anymore, because that guy can look like a genius. He can use Khan Academy, and he can use TED Talks, and he can use all these resources and just be the messenger and look like a genius. Yeah, if we think differently. So pay to get a higher quality teacher in there, right? The same way we're thinking about the police. There's probably some good cops out there. They need to be paid more so that we make sure they are motivated in the right way, and we make sure we have the skill set from early on that we want. And we test them differently, and they're just a higher breed, if you will. Pay them more. You know, Chris Rock said, one bad apple's too many when it comes to, pilots, and as it relates to police. Same thing with teachers. Man, one bad apple, I can take a kid right off any path. So it matters. And kids don't have to struggle. I worry about mental health on these kids and the pressure of what they're supposed to do and the job market and all of this. And it's like, man, the more we can help them know more about themselves, model for them different careers. Don't just check the boxes. Well, we taught them algebra, and we gave them 15 worksheets, so they should know. No, I'm talking about in here, people. In here. Get them excited and motivated in here, right? Because if we do that, then when schools are wrap, they're gonna know with confidence exactly what's happening next for them. And guess what? We are all gonna be pumped to see that. Benefits us all. Until next time.
Better change up your perspective. It's something new.